Good morning, Ishwar. Rajesh here.
Hey, hi Rajesh.
Good morning, Ishwar.
Make him change your name to Ishwar, otherwise these people may be confused.
Yeah, sure.
Good morning, Rajesh.
Hey, good morning. Hey, just now I have forward this yesterday's session notes and today's session notes in advance, a report and XSLT. So please go through this document during the day.
Okay.
And when we have this session today evening, if you have any doubts, feel free to ask the trainer.
Thanks, Rajesh. We'll do that.
Yeah, thank you. So, as you know, like we have very limited time, let's make use of it very effectively, and I request you to spend some extra efforts to go through the documents and etc. And from our side, we will make sure we provide the quality training.
Okay, we'll do that.
I know you are. Yeah, thank you. I know you are.
No other go for us, right?
Because, sorry.
No other go for us. We'll be doing this.
Okay.
I think Rachi also yet to join. I think.
Yeah, there are two more guys has to join, 2 or 3 more. Let's wait for them. And meanwhile, Ishwar, may I know like what you are going to cover now?
XML and XSLT.
Okay. And what about the evening? Do you have any idea when you are when can you take this session?
Yeah, it's I have already mentioned it.
8 p.m. IST, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I will be away from the PC. At the end of this session, during the session, just inform them once again that again the session will be at 8 p.m. today.
Okay.
Hey, Vijay, are you there?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Hey, yesterday I got call from Savitri and she said that you had a discussion regarding availability of the tenant during the weekend, right?
Yeah.
See, thing is, usually the tenant available from Saturday evening, okay? But comes to the accessing that, for the integration, we are not going to create any new instances.
Okay.
So we are just processing the data, even we are not altering the, we are just processing the data, we are running a report to get the data from the existing data from the tenant and etc. So there won't be any problem. But it comes to the functionality, we are creating the new instances. So that is the limitation. That is the reason we said tenant is not available during the weekend. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Ishwar, please continue. Like they will join, I think.
Okay. Guys, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, Ishwar, it's loading. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, today we are going to discuss about XML and XSLT. As I said in the You're not able to come in?
Hey, Ishwar, I'm sorry, Rajesh here.
Yeah.
So, hey, anyway, we are not going to access the tenant, right, during this session?
No, actually, tenant will be down.
Okay, so a small request. Is it possible to record this session at least? Because Girija, she may not be able to attend this. If you are okay, please record it and send it to me. Else, I will talk to her. It's okay for me. Just this session. You can initiate the record from your side, or I can do that. It's your wish. If you are not okay, that's fine for me. I will ask her to go through the document.
It's better to go through the document.
Okay, no problem. Please continue. Thank you.
Okay, guys. As I said in yesterday's session, XML and XSLT is not proprietary of Workday. They will make use, these are all developed by 33org, World Wide Web org, and it is common across all the technologies, like it can be Workday, or it can be any Java language, some other ERP. Basically, the language is same. XML and XSLT is same across all. But however, do you know Workday has implemented some more namespaces? And these namespaces are specific to Workday. I will explain you later when tenant is available. We will be having one more XML XSLT session that is on XTT and ETD. XTT means, XTT means XML text, and it's like XML to text, XTT, and element data validation. Like this, we will be having two type of namespaces which are specific to Workday. These namespaces provides you a lot of functions. I will be explaining you when I am dealing with a core connector. As of now, whatever I am explaining is common across all the technologies, and you will get the help in Google itself. If you see here, I am just going through a tutorial called 33 Schools. This is a very good tutorial for the ones who are started learning XML and XSLT. So I advise you to go through this tutorial. Just note it down. It's 33 Schools, www.33schools, and this will give you a lot of tutorials, and out of them, I advise you to learn XML, XPath, and XSLT. Here, along with this, you will be having a lot of technologies like XML document object model, or XQuery, XML schemas, DTDs, and all. But however, these are all not required. We will write schemas, but it's in a different way. In Workday Studio, we will be having a tool to write XML schema. So you don't need to worry about schemas and DTDs, but however, you should have knowledge on XML and XSLT. And along with that, I have downloaded one editor to write XML code, that is Oxygen, OXYGEN. Please go through Google and download it. It's in a freeware. It comes up with 30 days trial. And after that, if you want to extend, some registration will be there. It's for 30 days, and after that, if still you want to continue, just register with some other Gmail ID. Like that, you can extend your trial. Now, let me just go ahead. This is a very good editor for XML. It provides you a lot of options, like it makes you write the code easily, and there are some debugging options as well. Today we are going to discuss about that. I mean, if you are comfortable with any other editor, that's fine. But I'm comfortable with this editor, that's why I'm just showing you in this editor. Now let me come back to XML. Here, most of the XML course in this will be, I mean, not only here, if you go to any other XML tutorial, most of the times they will just compare with HTML. Do any one of you aware of HTML? And tell me if any one of you don't aware of HTML.
Yeah, few people are aware, people are unaware about it actually.
Okay. Yeah, I got the answer what I want. Here, few people do not aware of HTML, so I just don't want to compare this HTML and create more confusion here. Let me just go through the generic items. Here, how much XML knowledge we require? If you're able to understand, I mean, when you have seen an XML document, if you're able to understand what it is and how to read that is more than enough for our Workday course. Let me just go and explain you the different terms in XML document and let me make you familiarize with that. A typical XML document looks like this. It always starts with a tag. I mean, here whatever is there, we can. We will use names interchangeably. Like sometimes we call it as tag. Sometimes we call it as element, and this kind of values will be there within the tag or within the element. We call them as attributes. So like this, sometimes there is some terminology used in XML. Okay, I am going to use the terminology. If you are unable to understand any point, just let me know. Okay. Here, the XML starts with a tag called XML. Question mark XML to be safe. Here there is an attribute called version which specifies which version of XML it is. But most of the times it's 1.0 only. And now encoding. Here this encoding specifies which type of encoding we are using. If you see in in normal situation or outside, we will be having different kind of encodings like UTF-8, UTF-16, ISO-3, some digits, something like that. What is this encoding does? See here, in each encoding type, there will be a set of characters defined. A character set will be there. Okay, this character set will specify as what are the characters that we can use in a document. Here 8 means 8 bit. Similarly 16 means 8 means 1 bit. Similarly 16 means 2 bit. When it is more than sorry, 8 means 8 bit means 1 byte and 16 means 2 byte or 16 bit. Here when you say 1 byte or 2 byte, there will be a lot of characters will be included in that. So here if you want to see what are the characters under this UTF-8, you can just go to Google and just give a search UTF-8 character set. It will give you the set of characters will be done. Okay. Here by default for XML documents it is UTF-8 and most of the times we will use UTF-8 only. This is what about this XML tag. And after that, here if you observe, I have bookstore tag. Do you know XML is, it will not be having any restrictions on the tag name. In fact, XMLs are used for data exchange. We will create our own XML with the tags that we want. Means to say here I wanted to represent about bookstore. So I have just maintained my information like this, bookstore. And in that book, this bookstore contains a lot of books. And we have different kind of category books in cooking, in web technology, and if you say in Workday, something like that. Here we have different kind of categorizes. All the books we have categorized like this.
So, Ishwar, you mean to say like it's a kind of a loop?
Yeah, it's a kind of loop. I mean, here instead of saying it's a kind of loop, while transforming the data, we will use loops. Here, we can tell like this is how the data has been maintained.
Okay.
Here in XML, there is no defined rule that you have to use your tag name like this only, you have to use your attribute like this only. I mean, you can use, and when you are representing about some data, you can use whatever you want. Let me say, let us assume I have a furniture shop. Okay. I have a furniture shop and I have some kind furniture one. Furnitures, let's assume, and I have furniture. And in furniture, we will be having different kind of categories, right? Like table, chair, something like that. So if I want to represent, if I want to write on XML, I can write for my furniture shop like this. Furniture type table, furniture type chair. Like this I will write. I mean, so means to say here we are creating our own document. And nobody knows what is this document about and they don't know how to read that. But we will specify how exactly this document is formed and we will specify how to read this document. Here, how to read this document is nothing but XSLT. What exactly the structure of my document is nothing but schema. And what my document contains means to say here table. I can say table name. I mean, let's give some name to table. Let's give some price to table. And let's give some color to table. All these are nothing but information about my furniture. So XML is basically information about that. XSLT is basically to transform the XML document and how to read the data. And schema is basically how to identify the data, how to identify a document. Means to say when someone creates a kind of document and gives to you, how to identify whether it is well formed or not. And let us assume we are maintaining a hierarchy like this. So if you want to get the other must be, it should be in book. And this other price, let us assume price is a mandatory tag. Okay. If anyone sends you a book without price, you just want to reject it. In such case, you can write. I mean, there will be some schemas already defined and which specifies the format of the document. But you don't need to worry about this kind of schemas at all, because no way you are going to generate your own XML anywhere in Workday. Workday only will provide you the XML document. It's a report output. It's nothing but XML document. Core connector output. It is nothing but XML document. And similarly, in EAD also, you will use yes. Yes, Jay.
Yeah, we have XSLT, right? It's transfer the XML to transfer the file from XML or XSLT?
Yeah, no, XSLT reads XML document and executes the actions that we see.
Okay, XSLT reads the XML document.
Yeah, XSLT meaning itself like that, XML schema, XML style sheet language transformation. It just transfers the data.
Okay.
Yeah, SFLT actually validates and transfers. Am I right, sir?
No, validation is again different. You will be having schemas and DTDs to validate an XML document. Of course, if you want to do, you can do such kind of validations, but validation and that, it's again completely different. In DTD and schemas are for validation. It contains some validation rules. As
So
of
you
now,
mean to say that schema is like... Sorry, finish it.
Yeah, as of now, for our course, just concentrate on XML and XSLT. Anyways, you are not going to write this kind of DTDs and all. Yes, we write schema, but the purpose we use schema is different, and the way we create schema is also a different way in Studio. Okay, I will explain you when I am dealing with those. No need to worry about that. Vijay, do you have any question?
Yeah. When you're telling about schema, it's like activating the program, activating in sense checking the code, whether the code is correct or not.
No, not checking the code, checking the XML document.
Okay. Okay. XML documents means here you are talking about all this cooking and the web, all those stuffs.
Yeah,
Okay.
these two. Whether it is a valid document or not.
Okay.
Okay, as of now, please don't worry about schemas, okay? You will no way write any schema in our Workday, so there is no point in discussing that and thinking more about that. But if you are so much interested in, it's welcome. Here in this tutorial only, you will be having courses for DTS, DTDs, schemas, and all. Here only you can find DTDs, okay? If you are interested, you can just go through that, that's not an issue, but it's not required. Let me come back to my XML document. Here, we will be having set of elements and attributes, and we will form the document in a tree structure. Means to say, for any open element, you must have a closed element. Here, bookstore is open element. / bookstore is end element of bookstore. Means to say, if you give /, it is end element. For each starting element, you must have end element. The same appears here also. If you see book, end book. If you see title, end title. Other, end other. Like this, each document is, if you have a start tag, you must have an end. And it is in a proper nested manner. Means to say, if I give my information like this, see, as soon as I remove the tag, this editor showed me one error. Just look at that error. The element type must be terminated by matching end tag called / title. Means to say you have opened the element but you didn't close it. So for each open element you must have one end element. Similarly, you will see here just let's go back to the code here. Other must be terminated by matching end tag / other. Means to say what happened was here title started and within the title you have other. So first you need to close the other. I mean, by default, if you're not specifying anything, do you know how it is understanding this document? Title is there, in the title other is there, and after the other I will get title. Means to say it is thinking like there is subchild and it is looking for the closing of the document. If you don't close the document in a proper nested manner, while transforming the accessibility, it will throw an error saying document is not well formed.
And whenever we're creating the tag, it auto create the close tag also, right?
Yeah, but in editor it will create like that.
Okay.
But if you are doing it in Notepad, we have to give manually.
Okay.
Okay, but however, we will not create XML documents, but at least we should be in a position to understand it. Now, again, let me go back. There are some characters that you should not use in XML. You can see here, less than. So when you give this kind of less than, it identifies it as a tag, because every tag starts with less than and greater than, right, ends with n, greater than, right. So it thinks like this Italian is a tag, but actually we wanted to specify it as less than. So what I'm trying to say is there are some characters. Okay, when you are writing the accessibility, you should not use that characters. But however, how to specify less than? If you give here, give ampersand here, these are the characters that you should not use directly, like ampersand, quote, single quote, greater than, less than. For that, you have a different syntax. If you give here, amp colon, which is equal to ampersand, and similarly amp lt colon, which is equal to less than. Like this, you need to use some characters than, less than, greater than, and all. To represent the data. And if I want to read the title, if you see, observe here, this is a kind of tree structure, right? Our folder structure, where we will go to drive. In that drive, we will be having a lot of folders. And in that folder, you will be having another folder. I mean, another 3 files, let me say. So, if you want to access the title, how you do that? You will go to bookstore, book, and then title, right? Yeah, title, right? This is how we will also access the information in accessibility. Let me just go back and go through some syntax rules. I mean, I'm just covering this as well, so that while going through this, you should not be like, and here XML elements are case sensitive. Means to say, first name will be identified differently with capital first name. Just let me check that. Here I have small book, right? Let me just do capital book. See, again it has shown one error. If you see that error, the element type book must be terminated by end book. If you see here, it is small book, not big book. Like this, if you give any small and capital letters interchangeably, it will throw an error. and XML attributes. Within the elements, you will be having attributes, something called like this. If you see here, person, gender is an attribute. It is having the value female. And again, here they are just specifying about some information like if you see here, this attribute also can have a long test, and in that long test, if you want to use quotes and all, again the same rules apply. You should not use this double quote. Instead, you have to use this character to represent double quote. And namespaces. This namespace, I mean, there are a lot of things with this namespace. Let me just show you. Here, namespace will be used in XSLT, schema, and different. Is here, if you see here, I have used a namespace here. What exactly this namespace does? See, it has two advantages. One, it prevents the name collision. Means to say, here we are reading a book and it has a namespace, and we have one more name. Let me just explain you in this way. Sometimes, do you know, there will be...
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we use Notepad to write the code, how we can use, how we can test the code?
Can you please hold that question for some time? I mean, still now we haven't started about XSL decoding. Okay, I will explain it. Okay. Here, let us assume you have the same element called table in two situations. I mean, our furniture has table, and similarly, HTML has a tag called table. In that case, both will collide, right? I mean, here XML doesn't know which table they are referring to. So just to avoid the kind of collisions, they will use namespace, and they will give a name after namespace, and for each element you can use that namespace. And another most important situation is this one. If you just paste this namespace in the URL, it will redirect you to a page in 33org. If you see here, this 33org is the one where your XSLT definitions resides. Means to say, here we have two versions of XSLTs, and if you just go there, you will be able to find all the information about your XSLTs, and if you have any functions. I mean, here you will be able to find almost all the information with respect to your XSLT or XSLT. And along with that, they will be showing you some syntaxes and all the functions that are available, like here if you see number formatting functions or XSL if, XSL choose, like this. I mean, whatever the information that you require, here most of the information will be there in that namespace. So when we are including that namespace here, we are indirectly specifying the system that all definition, the definition of all the tags or all the functions that I am going to use here, means to say this XSL for each XSL template definition is existing in this namespace. This is the source for my functions and tags. Like this, we are indirectly specifying. Like this namespace has two advantages. One is to identify your tags independently, and sometimes it can be a data source of your information. I mean, here for beginners, it's better to go to this tutorial, and after that, once you get the knowledge, just do some of your research in this 3 org.
Ishwar, we need to declare that namespace anywhere?
Yeah, we have to declare that namespace, otherwise it will show many errors because it doesn't know from where it should pick up that information. Just let me just remove this. Here I'm just coming here and removing the namespace, and let's see what will happen.
So here my namespace is XLS, that is my namespace, right?
Yeah, that is our namespace, XSL.
Yeah, XSL. So XSL namespace declaration should be XSL style sheet. It should be like this, or?
Yeah, it's always should be like this.
Okay.
Okay. See, I have just removed the tag, and as soon as I remove that, I remove attribute, and as soon as I remove, just see the error it is showing. The prefix XSL for element XSL style sheet is not found. Means to say it is unable to identify what is meant by XSL style sheet. Because the definition it doesn't know. But when I say here, it will just go to this namespace and identifies that. Like these namespaces has a crucial role in the document. Yeah, encoding. As I spoke just now, here encoding, there are different kind of encodings that are available, like UDF-18, UDF-16. Here UDF-8 uses 1 byte and 16 uses 2 bytes. And there is a character set defined with this. If you just are interested in, just give a Google search. Again, this is something you can get from Google. But by default, it is UDF-18, and most of the times you will use UDF-18. If this UDF-8 supports almost all the characters, like all the Unicode characters, even European characters as well. So you can just search in the Wikipedia what exactly the characters you have. If you see here, these are the characters that are available for UTF-8. Okay. And our XML uses these characters. Let me just come back to the. Okay, this is what about XML. I mean, it's very brief about XML. Actually, XML is a very big language, but this is enough for us. Okay. Do you have any queries so far? Hello?
Sure, maybe you can try to see how it, how to run this XML in a browser, how it looks like, because you are currently showing in an editor, right? So,
yeah. I mean, how to read the document and all, I will just show you in a moment, okay?
So I think the only thing which people might get. Sorry, carry on.
No, you can carry on after that.
Hello? Yeah. Ishwar?
Yes, please go ahead.
Ishwar, I think the only concept which people might not able to understand, get confused was namespace. Okay, and on Workday point of view, they just want to know what is namespace and what is the assign. They no need to code it, right? Because
They don't need to code it. They don't need to code it. I mean, here, when you extracted the information from core connector, or when you extracted the information, 1 second, I'm just keeping everybody mute. Vivek, when you extracted the data from report, or when you extracted the data from core connector, it will come with one namespace. Okay. If you want to read the data, you have to include that namespace. I think I have a sample of one report output. You will see here, this is the report output that I got from Workday tenant. You see here, this is how Workday maintains its information. Did you observe yesterday we have selected employee ID, last name, first name, position ID, total base pay rate. In the report, this is how that report output looks like.
yes.
There is a, yeah, this is how that report output looks like.
No, get it.
Yeah, when you open it in XML.
Okay.
When you open it in XML, here there will be a topmost node called report data to bind all the information, and each employee information we call it as report entry. And in that report entry, whatever the information that you have selected will be maintained. And to identify this information, here, along with the report output, they will deliver you one namespace. This is the namespace, url:/com.workday.report/ the report name that you have selected. Did you observe yesterday when we were discussing about the advanced tab, there is a checkbox to make a report as a RAS enabled, the service enabled. Did you find if you select that box, it automatically generates a URI like this. When you select that, it automatically generates a URI like this, and you will use this URI in your XSL.
Okay. So you mean to say that for us, for instance, for a functional consultant, they just want to know what are the things it's there in the XML file. That's it. No need. They are not going to code it.
Yeah, even technical consultants also will not code it. They will just make use of it.
Okay, fine. Okay, sure. Thanks.
These are all either proprietary of Workday or proprietary of W3. You are not going to create any new one.
Vishal, just one more point. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I think for the namespace again, right? We can have, say for example, the employee report that you're currently showing, right? We have two such reports, right? And then both the reports does not have a namespace, then it becomes difficult to identify which report was generated for what purpose. That is why we give a particular namespace and access every element of the report entry and its respective element with that particular namespace. For example, this XML will have WD as a namespace, and another XML will have something like even I can have Girija as a namespace and say that I have generated that report. And accessibility of all those elements through that will be WD dot something or Girija dot something. Am I right, Ishwar?
Yeah, exactly.
Ishwar, one more term. So the left-hand side program is generated by Workday. Okay.
Yes.
So Workday might have a prefix like WD only, namespace of WD. Okay. So whenever Workday keep on generating the report, it will be keep generating only by WD.
Yes.
Right. So we need to go ahead only with the namespace of url.com workday.report nh-report. So this entire report gets mapped with nh-report, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, as I said, Vijay, see, Workday always gives you the only one namespace for reports called WD. Okay? But at the same time, you cannot process two reports at one go. There is no way. I mean, even XSLT will not read two XMLs at one go. And similarly, in Studio also, there is no component to read two XMLs at one go. You always can run only one XML. Here, why we are talking about the collisions is if it is within the report itself. It's not between two reports, it's within the report itself. Now, let us go to Krisha's example. Krisha, we can have a namespace name as WD and a namespace name Krisha, not an issue. But by default, you know, Workday delivers WD only for both the reports. Okay? For both the reports. Here you are comparing between the reports. When between the reports, if we have the same namespace, that will not be an issue. That will not be an issue because anyways you cannot write your XSLT or something on the two XMLs at one go. So here your XSLT also will not be having any problem with the same namespace.
So basically, I give examples because there are possibilities of conflicts of how it goes together.
Yeah. But this kind of collisions can happen within the XML document. Means to say, if you are using two kinds of tags within the XML itself, and you don't here you feel like in the both namespaces you have same XML tag. Then, if you want to make it as independent, you have to give this namespace.
The Workday delivered XML code is editable. Program language is editable. Yeah, XML code, that code.
XML code editable in the sense, I mean, after extracting the XML document, it's just like any other XML document.
Okay. Fine. Okay, got it.
Okay, this is what about.
Good.
Okay. This is what about XML document, and now we are writing XSLT to that XML document. Now let me just go to XSLT tutorial. See, why I am taking this as reference and I am explaining you is under assumption that after this session you will go to this website and read all this and get back to me if you have any issue. Because again, XML information you can get from many sources. You can do that, but I advise you to start with this website and after that do your own research.
Guys, please note the website URL.
It is. Are you able to read this? It's just like 3 schools. Just give 3 schools. Yeah, just give 3 schools. You will get that. Now, let me just come to the XSLT part. Here, XSLT introduction. Here they will just explain you the abbreviation of XSLT and what is XSLT. XSLT stands for XSL transformation. And it transforms XML document into another XML document, and it can be a text document. XSL uses XPath to navigate in XML documents. I will explain about XPath as well. Which is the one specifying us how to just use the path to get some information. Okay. This is how a sample XSL document looks like. Okay. Let's just don't waste time on this. let me just switch to XSL tags directly.
What is the difference between XML and XSLT?
Sorry?
What is the basic difference between XML and XSLT?
Yeah, here XML is the one which contains the data. XSLT is the one like a language which is used to read the data.
Okay.
Okay. Now XSL template. If you like, if you observe in any other languages, we will be having functions, right? Like when you create a function, how you will do that? First, you will create the function and you will call the function. Am I right? Here, this XSLT template is also something like that. This XSLT template will be having a block of statements, okay? And whenever some particular things has been matched, it triggers that function automatically. Means to say here, if you observe, I have given template match / here / represents the whole document. So when you are using XSLT to transform on XML, this template will be called automatically when there is a document. Means to say at the beginning of the document itself, it just catches this function and starts executing whatever is there here. Let us assume, if I say like this, then when the document loaded, it will not trigger this function, and after that it will come to bookstore and it triggers this function automatically when it reaches the bookstore and performs this task. Like this.
Like kind of subroutine.
Yeah, kind of subroutine. This template match specifies when to trigger this template. And however, we have another XML and we have another XSLT tag called call template. If you want to explicitly call a template, you will have one thing called XSL call template. Here in the call template, you will give the name. Then it just goes and calls this template. Okay, I mean, did you observe the syntaxes? XSL template match. This match specifies when to trigger this template. And similarly, you are having one other element called XSL call template to call a specific template. Here you can specify the name of the template. Okay? No template exists with the bookstore. Means to say there is a way to create template also. This is the creation of template. This is the calling of template. And if the template wants to be triggered automatically by the XSLT parser, this is how you need to write match. So whenever this tag matches, it automatically triggered by the XSLT parser. But if you want to trigger it manually, this is how you need to call. And if you want to define any statements, you have to do like this.
Can you copy these two lines and put it on top of the below output tag so that people can, readability will be there?
Sorry.
The creation of template, the two lines, can you copy and cut and paste it below the XSLT output line number 7, just for readability purposes?
Okay. Yeah, I can do that, but anyway, you will get the information here. But if you still want, I can do that.
Ishwar. Ishwar. So the template tag, the purpose of template tag is in case if you want to fetch the data automatically, we will be going by template match option. If you want to pull it manually, we need to go with the call option, template call option, and we can also create our own templates. Example, for this template match, we are giving that forward symbol, right? In that forward symbol, we have, okay, so I'll just give you an example, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, I'm just going to create a website. In that website, the body of the website will be there, which should be present in all the subscreen. Subscreen in the sense, if I click a link, it should go to the next link, which also should contain the body. So what I can do is, I can put all the content which related to the body under this. Am I right?
Yes, I mean processing.
Yes, to process it. So whenever that slash symbol, forward symbol comes, it automatically comes over here and process this data and then it goes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think to add one more point to what we just said, we can also have our customized fields. We need not have all the entries of that employee data in our template. If I want, I can have just employee ID, last name, and first name, and I can fetch the data only for these three fields as well. So, am I right, Ishwar?
No, Girija, can you please repeat your question?
Okay. So here, the XML has a whole set of data for particular employees, right? So like for example, employee ID, last name, first name, position, total package, and whatever. But in my XSLT, I can limit my. I need only three data: ID, last name, first name. That's it. I can just limit to only three tags and close it as well, right? I can customize what field I want.
Here XML contains all the data, but what exactly the information you want to read? Okay, it's up to you. You can do that.
And Ishwar, Workday delivering report, right? In that Workday delivery report, how to navigate to this namespace? Because there I can see only the normal XML file. I'm not able to get that link between the XML and this XSLT in the untitled 3.xml is there at Workday delivery report. Yeah, here. Where is that namespace? How to navigate from this program to that namespace?
Here is the namespace. What is the namespace in the report output? I have just included in the XSLT.
Yeah, I got that, but I will be getting the out as only the left-hand tab, which is that untitled 3.xml. Okay, which has the namespace URL Workday something. How to navigate into that? Navigate into that instance, right? You mean to say that this report has all.
You want to fetch the table, right?
Yes.
Fetch the object, not what you're saying.
Vijay, see, it automatically does all this. You don't need to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's just go to the integrations creation. At the time, it automatically does the task if you upload your XSLT. Okay. You can first try to learn XSLT, and then these questions will be answered automatically. Okay.
Yeah. Ishwar, can you come again with this XSL part, like three types you were explaining, right? One is call template, template match. So you can come again once more.
Sure, Vivek. Just hold your question very well. Let me just create one XSLT. Okay. Let's start creating that XSLT. Keep your questions for some time. Okay, at least. And if your questions are not answered, again, let's discuss. Because, see, now, as of now, you come to know that call template and all is there. But still now, you haven't used it. So, even though I write it here, I have write it in the comments, there is no point until unless I show you to you how it works, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Please hold
Because you explained the concept once, can you explain the same concept once more? It will be more clear.
Yeah. I will just do it. Okay. Instead of explaining, I will just do it. That makes more sense. Here, when you are creating the XSLT, by default, this how it looks like. Even through the if you are creating through the editor. By default, it will select the namespace of XSL. Okay. This is for schema. All your schema functions will be there in this XSL schema, but most of the times we will not use schema functions here. We will use only XSLT. So I'm doing this one. Okay. Now, our XSLT always starts with XML and the type is same, version is same, encoding is same. After that, our XSLT document starts with one element called XSL style sheet. I mean, all XSLT documents must start like this only. And after that, here you have something called version. Version specifies you which kind of functions you are going to use. Means to say, I have shown you in the 3 org guide, you will be having XSLT version 1.0 and 2.0. 2.0 will be having some more functions. And what exactly the namespace that we are using for transformation is this one, 1919 XSL transform, and this is also common across the globe. So this is how my style sheet looks like element. I am just closing it. Now here, my intention is to read this document, so I want to start the process as soon as this document appears. How I am writing? There is one element called XSL template, and here there is one attribute called match. I am specifying /. So when I specify like this, it automatically triggers whenever this document has started. And along with that, let's assume I wanted to create a block to print some kind of information. Means to say, after each record, I want new line. Okay. So as printing the new line is common across all the templates, not only this template. If you have some other template, okay, it's as it is common. I wanted to make it as a separate block, and I wanted to call this block whenever we want that. So let me just show you how I can create a template. Tag is same, element is same, XSL template. Then we will give a name to our template. I'm just giving insert new line. Okay. And whenever it reaches here, I wanted to just print some static text. To display the static text, we have a tag called XSL test. And in this text, I wanted to print some static information called new line. This is the ASCII values to get new line. Okay. It is like this is new line character and this is carriage return character. Some operating systems wants only one, like if you give this new line, it automatically goes to the new line, but some operating systems requires both, so I have given both. Here Windows requires both, so I have given both. Next, here I have written my own template. Later I will call this template. Wait for some time. Now I have got the whole document. Now I wanted to read for one book. Am I right? Because a lot of book is there. So we need to read one book. Means to say we have to look over the books. Let me just go through here. you have a tab called XSL for each, which loops over the document. Let me just make use of that for loop here. XSL for each. This is why I use editor, because it will give me help like this. This XSL for each, you need to specify the for loop. You need to give some information on which it needs to be looped, on which book. But to access book, you need to give some path. That is nothing but store - book. This is same like accessing our folders here. If you see here, this is my PC, and if you see here, I have something called drive D, and in that, if you see here, let's assume this bookstore is nothing but drive D, and in that again, let me just go to workspace. This is nothing but the next folder. If you have, and this folder as again having many tags, means that this book is again having many files. If I just click here, if you mean to say if I want to access this build, how I can access, I will give this path, right? Directory, workspace, and then the folder name. Similarly here also, if I want to access the book, I need to follow a path. Here this is backward slash, here you will give forward slash. Bookstore is our highest directory, and this is the folder in that. So I have just selected bookstore book. Here in this directory, I have many folders with the same name, book. So I will loop over these books like this. Next, now where I am? Here, right? I am at book. Now I wanted to just, I am removing this I have included for some purpose. Again, I will include that later. Now if you observe, I am at here. I'm here, and now I wanted to read the information of this. Let me just tell you how I will read that information. There is one more element called XSL select. So XSL value of. This XSL value of is used to read one element information. And it is having one attribute called select. Let me just give title. As is specified, each starting tag must have end tag. Is applicable for XSLT as well. But here there is a shorter form. Instead of writing this XSL forward slash XSL value, if you just specify like this, enough. Means to say after this, there is no end tag. This is the end tag itself. And so like this, we are just reading the value of title. Now, here what happens in most of the times, right? Vendor requires a test file, and it can be a pipe delimited file, it should be a comma separated file, or it can be a fixed length file. So here, let us assume our requirement is a pipe delimited file. So I'm just, if you see test, this test prints the one what is there in between this. I mean, it's just a constant test. Even we want a constant symbol called type, so I have kept like that. Next, I want to read information of author and year, price, something like that. So I'm just copy copying it and pasting it again. Now I will just replace the name. Like this, you can just read the information in the elements, and after that, here with price, one record is over. So next record, I wanted to be printing the new line. Here I have already defined a template for new line. I can just call this template. SSL, call template, name, insert new line. That's it. It calls the template and it prints the information whatever is there. This is the declaration of template. This is the calling of template, and this template purpose is different. Like it just executes automatically by the XSL parser whenever there is a match happened. Okay. Now let me just show you how to debug this and how exactly the flow is going on here. Okay, it makes more sense to you. So here our information is in untitled XSL untitled 2, and our code is in untitled 1 XSL. So I'm just selecting those. Sorry. Untitled 1 XSL. And then it is like we are transforming the data of this XML document using this XSL. Here it is showing one pop-up saying actually this freeware is there, right? It can make use of only version 1.0 functions. But if you buy it, it will allow you to use 2.0 versions also. I didn't buy that, so this purpose. Now, see, as soon as the first line of the document reached, it is not bookstore. It's the first tag of document as reached, it automatically triggered this template match. Next, I am looping over the books. If you observe here, first book got selected. Right, I mean, you're able to identify the highlighted ones right here. Now, it printed the title. You see here, everyday Italian, and after that, it printed a pipe symbol here. Are you able to see this? It printed a pipe symbol here.
Yes, sure.
And next, it is supposed to, now it printed other, and again, it printed one pipe. And next, it printed year, and after that pipe. It printed price. After that, we have called a template called insert new line. It came to insert new line template, and now it's just printing in the new line. If you see here, as I said, some OS use 2 characters and some OS requires only 1 character here. We don't want this be not required. Only A alone is sufficient. Now it came to new line and it again started printing the information in the new line. You see here, it got selected this one and the title is last, and again author is Yoda and year is 2005, price is 10, and again new line. Like this, you know, it prints the information. But if you observe here in the beginning of the document, you got one XML tag. But however, our intention is to generate output file in the form of text. To avoid this confusion to the browser, we can just add one more element called XSL output, and it has an attribute called method. Here you can specify test. execute the same. See, so here that XML tag didn't come out. It just started printing the information. This is how the flow goes. Now tell me, do you have any queries?
Just a very basic question. How, because you are in the same path, the bookstore is being picked up from this XML. How the link between these two XML and XML is what I'm talking about.
Okay, see, in the editor, link is here, okay? When you specify the source XML and the target XSLT, it just process the XSLT with this document. But when you are using the same in integrations, it will show you a place where you need to upload your XSLT code, and it takes care of crossing of that linking of the XML and okay, this is what about XSL for each element, value of element, text element, and template. Okay, like that, let's go to other functions as well. I'm just closing this. Now, XSL sort. XSL sort is used to sort your document. Means to say, here by default, whatever the first document is there, first book is there, it is printing that book information. And after that, whatever the second book is there, it's going to second book, third book, like that. But however, sometimes there is a requirement that you need to get the output in a sorted manner. In that case, you can make use of your sort element. Let me just use that XSL sort, and it will be having some parameters like sorting order and all. But I mean, it's up to you. I mean, if you want to, by default it is in ascending order, but if you want to use some other order, you can use ascending order as well. But as of now, let me just keep it to ascending order. But this is how you can use descending order as well. And this XSL sort will be having one more tag called select, one more attribute called select. I mean, means to say on which field you wanted to do this sorting criteria. Let me just come here and select. Here I wanted to sort it based on the title. So I'm just giving title. Now see how the flow changes. Let me just expand it so that too. You see here, first one is E and T and H here, and here X, here E. So now let us just see the flow, how it goes. So among all this, it is just printing the empty one. Here there is no title, so it's given more importance to space first. And after that, it is printing everyday Italian. And next, it is printing Harry Potter and test and SQL. So see here, excuse me, here E H T E X. This is how it's sorted based on the title. And do you have any queries so far?
Ishwar, when you are doing the execution part, it has to go step by step. Otherwise, there is any option you can just execute full stretch.
Yeah. Here I am going by step. That's why I came like this. But you can do the full execution as well.
Yeah, thank you.
At one go. Okay. I wanted to do it step by step so that you can understand the flow, how exactly it is going.
Ishwar, if you see in the XML part, you have given the attribute for the title language is equal to English, right?
Yes.
But if it's in the author or the year, we have not given any attribute. How does it work actually?
Yeah. As of now, we are printing the data of element. Okay. We are printing the data of element. If you see here, everyday Italian, we are printing the data of element. But there is a way to access the data of attribute as well. Okay, let me just do it for you. If I give like this, it brings the value of attribute. Actually, I thought of telling this little bit later, but it's okay. It's not a big concept. Here, if you want to read any value of attribute, you have to use @ Okay. Here I wanted to use the value of title attribute, so title /@ here whatever the name of the attribute. Okay. Now let me just execute it once again. If you see here now, I got EN, which is nothing but the language. Okay.
Okay. So it helps in only the printing of the attributes, nothing else, right?
No, not only printing of the document. Let us assume we want only English books.
Okay.
In that case, you can use this attribute as a condition also.
Okay.
I mean, whatever the things that you are doing with elements, you can do with attributes as well. That's what I'm trying to say. Now let me come here, and next, if people who doesn't have, who has only functional background also able to understand this coding, right?
Yes, Ishwa.
Yeah.
Guys, please speak.
Yeah. Okay.
We understand.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. I mean, if everybody is unmuted, I'm hearing a lot of noise. Yeah, that is why I'm just keeping you in mute. Don't think otherwise. Okay. Yeah, as that's correct. You need to practice. But here you can get all the source from editor and XML documents. It's independent of Workday. That's the beauty of this, because only coding language that you use XSLT, and that is not Workday proprietary. You can just practice it outside also. Next, let me come to another one. If do you know what if statement does? It executes the block only if it satisfies the condition. Let me just show you how exactly it looks like. I'm writing a condition. This is how if statement looks like. XSL if, and each if will be having a test. Test is the place where we will keep our testing condition. Here, let's assume I wanted to print the book information only when price is greater than some $10, okay? How I will specify greater than like this. I have just given my condition like this, and let us see what will happen. You able to understand the format, right? Here, element name is XSL if, and attribute is test, and in the test we are writing the condition. What we are writing, we are giving the node name or element name, price, and we are just checking whether it is greater than 10 or not. Greater than we will give in this manner instead of greater. First, as we have specified the sorting criteria, first it will come here and it checks the price of this one. It's greater than 10, so it prints this information. Okay? And after that, it goes to everyday Italian because as per the sorting order, that is the next node we have. And checks whether it's greater than 10 and it prints that information. And next, Harry Potter. And next, test. If you see here, test price is equal to 10, not greater than. So it just gives the test. And now it came to value. So this is greater than 10, so it just prints that information. Like this, if condition checks for one condition, and if that condition is satisfies, then only it executes the block within that condition. Okay?
So here what you have done is you have given a if statement saying that anything more than $10 or 10 rupees, that price only you want to see. So it has checked it and given the output. That's what you have done, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, here using if you can check only one condition. But let us assume a situation where you have to check one condition. If that is not satisfying, you have to go for second condition, third condition, like that. Further, you have another tag called, where is it? Another tag called choose. Let me just show you how exactly choose works in the same case. Let us assume if price of the document is less than 30, I wanted to print reasonable. If it is more than 30, I wanted to print high price. Okay, let us assume. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but as I wanted to show you how exactly it looks like, I'm just choosing all these small samples. Okay. Let me first show you how exactly the syntax of choose looks like. This is how the syntax of choose looks like. XSL choose. This choose will be having when condition. Here you can use multiple when conditions. First, it goes for this condition. If this condition satisfies, it prints the information and it executes the block within this XSL when and XSL when. If this condition is not satisfying, it will come here and it executes this block if this condition satisfies. If this is also not satisfying, it will go to otherwise. Means otherwise is the default block. Like this, you can create a number of conditions that you want, and you can specify what needs to be done when that condition is satisfied. Here, I wanted to do like this. If price is some greater than $30, I wanted to specify some XSL test high price. Okay. And after that, let me just give one pipe as well. And I want to just specify if price is some greater than 20 and less than some 30, less than or equal to, also we can give less than or equal to 30. Just I'm going to print like, okay, reasonable. Otherwise, cheap. Something like that, some test. And my intention is to just explain you how exactly it looks like. So first it will come here and it will just check whether price is greater than these or not and prints a test according to that, and after that it prints all our information. Let me just go through the document. Go and process this and show you how exactly it happens. Okay, first whole document mesh, it went there, and then for each book it is coming here. We have defined the sorting criteria, that is why it came to the web first, this book first, and if you observe here, this is 30. So it's coming here, and first condition not satisfied, it is checking for the second condition, it is satisfied, so it is printing reason, and remaining information is next. Again, it came to another node called Everyday Italian, and it checks the price. If this is also less than or equal to 30, so it's reasonable. And next, I mean, here, do you know, you can keep debug point as well. You see here, it will like, this is the debug point, it will execute the block and comes here and stops. Let me do that one instead of clicking this multiple times. Now it came to Harry Potter, and see, Harry Potter is also less than 30, so it's reasonable. It prints reasonable. And next, cooking. If you see here, it is less than 10. It's 10, less than 20. So let me just show you how exactly flow goes. It checked these two conditions, not satisfying, so it came to otherwise, and it's printing this information. Cheap. Okay? Like this, it just looks over all the documents and prints the information like this. Are you able to understand the syntax and functionality of XSL tools? Or do you have any queries?
Yeah, we're able to answer.
We are able to understand.
Okay.
There's two.
Yeah. Sorry, Conan. Yeah, tell me.
Hello?
Yeah. Somebody is asking question.
What we have used here is if and else statement, isn't it? If it is greater,
Yes.
that's what we have done.
Yeah, exactly. This is a kind of if and else statement. Let me go back. You will be having one thing called apply templates. This is very good one, and most of the times it changes your whole layout. We see here, we have written these many lines of code, right? You can just reduce some part of code using these apply templates. I will just create one more accessibility document and I will show you how exactly this apply templates works. I mean, it is like you can use for loop and XSL apply templates interchangeably. Let me just show you how exactly it looks like. XSL template match. Okay. So here I have just specified one template, and I am telling the system to execute this whenever it matches with the whole document. Now here I am creating another document called match with book. Sorry. This element executes when there is a match called book, and I am just pasting the whole information what we have done here. I am not using for loop anymore. I am just using apply templates. Like this, I have just rearranged my code. Okay. This when you say apply templates. Do you know what happens? This gets selected as soon as the whole document reaches. And it just, when it say apply templates, it just goes through all the document, all the tags, and whenever there is a match with book, it will just execute this block. Let me just show you how exactly. Basically, apply templates is to apply the templates. And we have some other templates within the same document, it just goes and applies those documents. Let me just show you how exactly it looks like. See, it is applying the templates. Here we haven't called this template. Did you call this template anyway using the SSL call template with some name? Here we haven't given name itself. This is almost similar like this template match. It selects whenever whole document is there, it selects whenever book is there. But to apply this template for all the nodes, we have used apply templates. And remaining things are same. You will get almost same data here. The only thing that this apply template does is just applies the template whatever is there in this document. Okay? Are you clear on this XSL apply templates and XSL match? Hello? This is just, here you didn't use for loop, but it works same as for loop. Let me just go to with this yeah, please. Yeah, please go ahead. Any queries?
No issue.
Yeah. Okay, cool then. Here, along with this, you will be having some XSLT functions as well. All these functions are in the namespace XPath functions. Okay, and these are the functions that are available. Don't worry. First, let me go through the XPath, and in XPath you will be having all these functions, and along with this, you will be having a lot more functions. Let us discuss this XPath tutorial and core connector XSLT in our next session. Next session, when I am discussing about the core connector, I will be explaining you about this XPath tutorial and core connector specific namespaces and what are the functions that these namespaces are providing. Okay?
Yes, okay.
Is it clear so far for you? Yeah, today I am able to understand the basics of XSLT and XML. Even
Yes.
the people who...
So in XSLT we covered the sort. Okay.
Yeah, in the XSLT, we have covered sort and some looping and
If.
yeah.
Okay.
Choose.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Next time, we will be discussing about some more about XSLT only. That we call it as XPath, and what are the different kind of functions provided by XPath, and XML Workday specific namespace is called STT ETB, and the functions provided by STT and ETB. Okay.
Just one question.
Ishwar.
Can I
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah.
Just the last point, right? Though we had a template match equals book, and still we were able to execute this. But then after inserting the apply template, is the template match equals book still required?
Yeah, it is required. It is required. See here, apply templates. Do you know what it does? It just if you have any other templates, it will just telling the system that go and by default when it comes to the match, it stops the processing over there. It will execute only the block whichever is there in the template match. But here we wanted to execute some other templates as well, and it has to be dynamic. If you see here, I can just give you a name to this template and I can call this template from the match template. But how to identify how many times I need to call this template? Again, I need to write a for loop. Am I right? Again, I need to write a for loop on bookstore book and call this template. So instead of writing this for loop, if I say apply template, it will come to this and matches directly and prints that.
Print everything. Okay, fine.
Yeah, that is why I said, sometimes we can use this.
I think I missed the alternate for the for loop. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, Ishwar, I'm very clear that we are not going to code it. We just need to understand the Workday delivered report, right?
Yeah, here we need to understand XML, but here XSLT we need to code.
Okay. No, I'm talking about in Workday concept.
Yeah, in Workday concept also, XSLT we need to write, XML it will generate automatically.
Okay, fine.
Okay, and one more thing you need to remember is, only with this our XSLT is not yet over. Still we are going to discuss about XSLT. But what I want from you is, see, there is a lot of sources that are available in Google, but whatever the one I am provided, just start with that, and after that, there will be a lot of XML and XSLT documents as well, books also there. Just go through that, because it is like XSLT is again a very big language. If you want to spend 1 month on that, we can spend. That much big it is. That is why I am telling you here. I am covering what are the most commonly used code, okay? And almost nearly 70 to 80% of the time, this code will be enough, and whatever the tags that I am covering will be enough. What are the conditions or what are the functions that I am. But if you want to be expertise in this, you need to do some self-exploration of XML and XSLT. But
Ishwar, if you send that, sorry, you finish it, Ishwar, sorry.
Yeah, see, if you want to be expert, again, you have to go, it's better for you to go through some documents or this website, okay? And there is no way limit for you. If it is Workday, you have a limit, because here I cannot provide you tenant access, separate login for you. You need to do it in the session only. So such kind of limitations are there. But for XML and XSLT, you don't have any limitations. It is up to you. And the only coding part involved in Workday is XSLT. So people who doesn't have technical knowledge, don't be under assumption that you cannot code, because if you observe here, coding like this is very easy. And people who are thinking like, as we don't have access, we didn't get knowledge on XSLT, please come out of that assumption. It's an open source. You will be having a lot of editors. You will be having a lot of documents in the book. Go through that, and if you have any questions, come back to me. I'm here to explain it. Okay. But what I need is, due to time constraint, you have to explore yourself as well. Yeah. Please, Vijay, go ahead.
Ishwar, it will be great if you send that untitled3.xmls to us, so that we can practice to come out with our own XSLT.
Why untitled 3XML? I mean, you can take this one, because this is again.
Anything is okay. Anything is okay for us. I thought, okay, we can go with the Workday terminology so that people will be having somewhat confidence.
No. I mean, see, it's almost same. See, here this is XML document, and here also this is XML document. Tags names are different. That's the only difference.
Okay.
And guys, if you want some sample XML documents, you no need to worry about that. When they are explaining the XSLT, if you see here, very good thing is, let me just go to this website once again. If you see here, here it itself comes with some default editor. If you click on that, try it yourself, it will show you the XML. If you see here, I have extracted the same XML and pasted it over there. I have pasted only 4 nodes, but here you will be having big XML document. And along with that, here, if you just let me paste this information, okay, whatever the code I have written, let me just paste this information. If you see here, you can use this as editor itself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but I advise you to go for this XML editor only, instead of using this editor, because this is not that much self-explanatory, and it sometimes you may feel some problems as well in understanding what exactly happened.
Can we use SQL Server Management Studio for this?
Yeah, I mean, see, again, as I said, you will be having a lot of editors as well. It's up to you which editor you choose. As it is a freeware, and it is, I'm comfortable with this, because when I am learning XML and XSLT, I have used this editor. So I'm just advising this editor. I'm just.
And one more thing, Ishwar.
Yes, Vijay, please.
Ishwar, I think Arundhati asked you a question. What in case if you are going with the notepad, how you will be executing that code? Forget about the editor.
Actually, in the notepad, in Notepad++, I think you can do that, but in Notepad, you have to write on your own. But as a beginner, I will advise you to go through some editor only. See, sometimes, going through this editor is okay, but sometimes there will be some constraints from project as well. Means to say, see, for your personal purpose, you can use this kind of, you can just download and install this kind of editors. But do you know sometimes what happens? Your project will not sponsor this, and they will not either allow you to use this kind of freewares. Because that is what happens in projects, right? They will afraid of these freewares. It may create some malwares in your system. So sometimes, they restrict you use these editors. In that case, if you have no option, don't worry, download Studio. When I am explaining the Studio, I will explain you in Studio also how to do this kind of functions, how to write XSLT code using the help, and how to debug as well. Okay, no need to worry about that. For project specific, I have one alternative how to do it in Studio. But when that kind of constraints are not there, just download it and use it. Yes, Girija. Girija, I don't know. I am hearing a lot of noise from your side. Are you outside? No. Please unmute. If you have any question, unmute. Not an issue.
I was just checking about the noise. Okay. I just wanted to know which XML editor you are using.
Yeah, I am using Oxygen XML editor, but whereas in the project I'm not using Oxygen because this kind of constraints are there. I'm using Studio. I mean, as I said, it's. I mean, if your project constraint is there, just use Studio. But this editor is far better than Studio. But if constraints are there, I mean, we can do nothing. But Studio is also having very good editor only, but not as much comfortable as this one. Yeah. Do you have any more questions? Hello? Actually, that's it from my side for today. And if you have any questions, please you can ask.
No, Ishwar. I think we are done. We are done. So evening session starts by 8 o'clock, right? 8 or 8:30?
Yeah, 8 p.m. 8
Okay.
p.m. You want me to make it at 8:30? I thought of starting at 8 p.m., but if you want to start at 8:30, okay, that is also fine.
No. Anything is okay for.
Yeah, then let's meet at 8.
That also sounds good. 8:30 also sounds good.
8:30 will be fine actually.
Okay, no issues.
Can we make it at 8?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, okay. Let's be stick to 8 only.
Okay.
Okay, 8 to 9:30 or 8 to 10, something like that. So please plan your dinner accordingly.
Okay.
Have very light dinner, okay?
Okay.
Ishwar, just wait for a minute. Okay, others like you can leave this session. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Ishwar. Thank you, Ravi.
Yeah. Thanks guys for attending.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.